So the 7 traits that make a woman chase you. So in a world where it feels like even average looking women have endless options of guys lined up to date them, how do you actually stand out? How do you stop a woman from losing interest and slipping away? How do you become her priority and not feel like you're just another guy in line at a giant sausage fest fighting for tiny scraps of her attention? Well, in this video, we're going to cover the 7 traits that flip a switch in her brain and make her see you as the prize. So she's not just choosing you, she's chasing you instead of the other way around. Hi, I'm Bobby Rio, and here's the truth. Most guys think that women are only drawn to looks or money or status or perfect conversation. But I can tell you after coaching guys for the past 15 years, that's not how attraction works. Attraction's emotional, yes, but those emotions don't come out of thin air. They come from how she perceives your value. It's not about what you say or how much you spend. It's about the signals you give off about who you are and whether she feels like she's with a man worth chasing and investing in or not. And when you show the right traits, the ones that I'm about to share with you in this video, you stop being just another option and you become the guy she's fighting to lock down, the one she's thinking about nonstop. So let's start with the first one. And the first one is comfort with tension. So the first trait is your ability to not only handle tension, but to actually be comfortable with it. Now, I'll be real with you. This was my Achilles heel for a really long time. I was like a drunken firefighter busting in to extinguish even the tiniest, smallest spark of tension. I remember back in college, a girl randomly walked up to me at a party. She walks up to me, leans in, and kisses me on the lips. And what do? I ask her what her major is, like a clueless idiot. Like, she kisses me on the lips, and I got so tense I blurred out, "How's your statistics class?" Another time, I'm on the couch, and this girl sits down right next to me, close enough where her leg is brushing against mine, and I actually scooted over, like, I can't let those legs touch me. She might think I'm creepy. Or the time a girl that I was into didn't text me back for a couple days, so I bought her a $200 bouquet of flowers and sent them to her work with a mushy card that honestly makes me want to puke in my mouth just thinking about it. Why? Why did I do these things? Why why did I scoot over? Why did all these things throw me off my game? Well, very simple, because I couldn't handle tension. So let's break down what tension actually is. So tension is that little spark of uncertainty. It's the silence that lingers after eye contact. It's when she pulls back just slightly and you don't flinch. It's the gray area between she likes me and I have no fucking clue what she's thinking. Tension is that electricity. It's the electricity where you both know something is going on, but neither one of you are saying it. And here's why it's so powerful. When you can sit in that tension without panicking, without flinching, without over-explaining, without scooting away, without over-texting, without overcompensating, it makes her feel something that almost no other guy ever gives her. Butterflies, anticipation, curiosity. It tells her, this guy doesn't need me to reassure him. He doesn't feel the need to reassure me. He's not nervous. He's not begging for clarity. And he seems like he's done this 1,000,000 times. He's experienced. And that calmness, that certainty, that's what flips the script. Because now she's the one wondering, what's going on in his head? Does he even like me as much as I like him? That tension is what keeps her hooked. And if you can stay comfortable there, you instantly stand out from 95% of guys who can't. So the next trait that makes a man the type of man she will trace is desire. So there's a quote about desire that I really love. And the quote says, the desire of the woman is for the desire of the man. So what does it mean? It means that a woman doesn't just want you to like her. She wants to feel wanted by you, desired by you. See, her attraction deepens when she feels your desire directed at her specifically, not just generic male horniness, but your masculine energy choosing and desiring her. But here's the problem that most guys make. Most guys hide their desire. They lead with affection because affection feels safer. affection is easy. It's, you're so sweet. It's, I just really enjoy spending time with you. It's sending a good morning text with a little sunshine emoji, and it's safe, but it's not what gets her turned on. I was at a restaurant not long ago, and I overheard this guy, and he was clearly on a first date, and I swear to God, this guy is sitting there telling the woman that he feels ashamed of being a straight male. Like, he's sitting there going, I really, in this day and age, I just feel ashamed of being a straight male. Like, he's apologizing for even being a man on a date. And you can just tell that he was probably thought he was winning points. Meanwhile, I guarantee that same girl that he's like, trying to win points with is probably banged some guy in the parking lot of a TGIF's at some point, right? Now, to be clear, this isn't about blurting out nice tits like a caveman. That doesn't work. It's not about telling her over and over and over how much you want her. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is you let her feel it in the way you escalate with her, the way your eyes linger on her a little longer, the way your touch grows more intentional, the way she can feel that she's turning you on. That's the stuff that hooks her, because when she feels your desire, again, not just male horniness, not just you need to get a load off and she happens to be the one that's in front of you, but your desire for her, it's addictive. She doesn't stay up at night thinking about the guy who texted good morning sunshine. She stays up thinking about the guy who she could feel wanted her without him ever having to spell it out verbally or confess his feelings, right? So let's get into the next one. And the next trait is fun. But real fun, not nice guy fun. So let me clear it up. I don't mean tell a bunch of corny jokes and hope she laughs. Most guys, when they hear be fun, they turn into the nice guy entertainer. They try way too hard to keep the energy light and to make her laugh or to prove that they're the fun guy. And you know what happens? She has a pleasant evening and zero interest in seeing you again. Now I'll give you an example. I remember a client telling me about a date that he thought he went amazing. He said that she laughed at everything, and she even said, "You're so funny." So I asked, okay, so when's the second date? And he goes, well, she hasn't answered my text yet. That's the trap, because here's what she felt. He was funny, but he was also predictable and safe. She could already see the entire movie. Nice guys take her out, they make her laugh, they walk her to the door, they send her the polite, had a great night text, and that's exactly why she lost interest, because real fun isn't about jokes. It's about unpredictability. It's about emotional spikes that she has with you. The tension, the desire, all of that is fun. The longing, the anticipation. It's about creating moments where she doesn't know what's coming next. Think about the guys that women call jerks, but at the same time, they can't stop chasing. They're not sitting, these guys doing like routine stand-up comedy. They're saying unexpected things. They're teasing her. They're playfully pushing back. They're breaking the script that she's used to with every other guy. They're not waiting till the end of the night. They're not walking to her car and, nervously trying to get the kiss. They're leaning in mid-sentence in the middle of the date as she's telling a story and kissing her and saying, wow, you look really cute. I just had to do that. Okay, tell me the rest of that story. And that's unpredictable to her. That is spontaneous. That's what keeps her invested. Later that night, when she gets home, she doesn't get the obligatory had a good night text from him. So now she's up all night waiting for it. So here's the takeaway. Don't confuse fun with being a clown. Fun is when she's leaning in, when she's wondering, what's this guy going to do next? That's what gets her hooked, not the 10th, you're so funny compliment. This is why when I talk about the scrambler, and I have a link below in the description for it, some guys think it's a game or a trick. And what I explain is that the scrambler is actually fun. It's very fun for a woman. It's giving her what she wants. You're creating this movie that is exciting to watch. It's exciting for her to be a part of. She doesn't know the outcome. It's addicting because she doesn't know what's coming next. You're creating expectations and then you're breaking them. You're taking her on an emotional roller coaster, just like a movie. And that's fun for a woman. It gets her wanting to be around you and craving you when you're not around. If you haven't gone through the scrambler yet, there's a link in the description so you can check it out. So the next trait though is ambition. Ambition. So let me say this. There's a big difference between talking ambition and living it. Every guy loves to say, I got big plans, I'm working on something, one day I'm gonna do this, right? Meanwhile, the only thing that he's been working on for 6 months is a dent in his couch cushions and his Call of Duty score. So here's the deal. You don't need to be a millionaire. You don't need to drive an exotic car, but you do need to be going somewhere. She's got to look at you and think, all right, this guy's headed somewhere. If I strap in, maybe I won't end up living in his mom's basement eating pizza rolls for dinner every night. Because here's the truth. Women want to feel like they're joining a man on a ride. She doesn't want to be the ride. She doesn't want to be the journey. She wants to join your journey. And she wants to feel like you're the star quarterback, not her. And she gets to be the sexy cheerleader on the sidelines cheering you on. This is not about misogyny. It's not about ego. It's about polarity. A woman can tell you anything she wants, but really, that's programmed into her. That's the feminine role that she's playing. It's you in the masculine role. It's her in the feminine role. She wants a reason to believe in you, to root for you, to feel like she's part of something bigger than Netflix and dive bars. It's also why the worst thing you can do as a man, the worst thing you can do as a man is complain about your situation like you're powerless. Nothing will dry up a woman faster than a man complaining about his life like he's some sort of victim who can't catch a break. Now here's where I'll get real with you though. Ambition, it isn't just for her. It's for you. You only live once. And at this point in your life, no matter if you're 25, 55, or 65, you only have one life. And you have endless information right now. Endless resources. You have it all at your fingertips. There's no excuse for sitting still, for not being able to do something, not knowing how to do something, thinking you don't have the ability to. You have literally artificial intelligence right now that can tell you how to do anything you want to do. There's no matter what idea you have, there's no thing you want to do that AI or Google or a YouTube video can't tell you exactly how to do it. You don't have any excuses anymore. It doesn't matter if your dad left you. It doesn't matter if you dropped out of high school. None of that matters anymore. It's crazy because I know guys who will research which $12 iPhone case has the best reviews on Amazon, and they'll spend hours reading these reviews. I know other guys who will spend 2 weeks analyzing stats and deciding who they should draft for their fantasy football team. But when it comes to their own life, it's like, I'll figure it out later. I don't have time. I don't want to, it's like, that's not attractive. I don't blame a woman who doesn't want a guy like that, right? It's like, it's not attractive. It's not inspiring. Ambition doesn't mean you need to have it all figured out. It doesn't mean you need to be rich or you need to be some CEO or you've got to be moving forward. You've got to have a plan. She's got to feel that you have a plan. She's got to feel that you're moving forward, that you're learning, that you're growing, that you're building something. And that energy is magnetic because when she looks at you and she thinks, this guy's going places and I want to be a part of it, that's when she chases. Now, the next one kind of piggybacks on that, and it's autonomy. Now, autonomy is something that I've talked about before, but it's so important because deep down, we're drawn to people who don't need us to feel complete. Very simple. When we sense somebody does not need us, that they're perfectly complete without us, we have a desire to be with them. So what is autonomy? It's living in a way where your happiness, your direction, your purpose, your ambition, none of these things depend on someone else. So here's what it looks like when you don't have it. When you don't have autonomy, you meet a girl, and within a week, your whole schedule revolves around her. Your gym session, you skip them. Your work, you half-ass them. You're thinking about her the whole time, staring at your phone. Your friends, you haven't seen them in days. You're basically on standby, waiting for her next text, waiting for her schedule to open up. And what happens? She feels it. She feels that your world has shrunk down to her. And instead of being flattered by it, which is sort of the nice guy way of thinking, well, she should be flattered that I'm giving her everything and I want to be with her all the time and I want to compliment her all the time, right? She doesn't feel flattered by it. What she does do is she pulls back because no woman wants to be your only mission. Now picture the guy with autonomy. He likes her, he's attracted to her, but he's not rearranging his life to orbit around her. He's got his own direction, his own goals. She can join him, but he's moving forward either way. A woman doesn't want to feel like she's your only mission. She wants to feel like she's earned a place in a life that's already moving forward with or without her. So here's the mindset shift. Autonomy isn't about being cold. It's not about being distant. It's not about not caring about women. It's about showing her, you're not my world, but I'd love for you to be a part of it. Okay? Very simple. So the next one, number 6, is boundaries. Let's talk about boundaries, because for most of my life, especially my early life, I had none, literally none. I was basically a golden retriever with a wallet. You could treat me however you wanted, and I'd still come back wagging my tail like, so you free Friday? I remember one girl, in particular, she'd cancel on me last minute, every single time. And what did I do? Did I call her out? Did I say, hey, my time's valuable, don't waste it? No, I sent back a no worries, smiley face, hope everything's okay, want to reschedule? I'm free Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And looking back now, I just want to punch myself in the face, because I wasn't just letting her get away with it. I was rewarding her for it, right? I was rewarding her for it. Like, congrats on blowing me off again. Here's more of my attention. I like you even more now. It was pathetic. And of course, the more I tolerated, the less respect she had for me. Because here's the truth. Women test you on this stuff constantly. Not because they're evil, but because they want to see if you actually respect yourself. Boundaries aren't about being mean. They're about showing calmly and without drama what you will and what you won't accept. She shows up late every time. Stop rearranging your life for her. She's on her phone. Call it out with a smirk. Hey, you want a more exciting date over there? The second she sees that you won't put up with low effort, she will adjust her behavior, because here's the rule. If you reward bad behavior, you're gonna keep getting bad behavior. But when you show that you've got standards, that you don't accept this kind of behavior, you don't even have to really say that much to her, because she feels it and she'll try to live up to your standards. Boundaries aren't just about keeping her from wasting your time though. They send a very clear signal to a woman. I value myself. I put a high price tag on my time. I put a high price tag on my attention, and I'm very choosy about who gets my time. I'm very choosy about who gets my attention. And if you're willing to enforce your standards, it tells her that you see yourself as a high value man with options, who's not going to settle for somebody who is giving you shit in return. You're not some bargain bin guy that she can treat however she wants. You're not desperate. You're not afraid of losing her. And that makes her respect you more, because women are wired to chase the man who doesn't need them to survive. So the next one feeds into this, and that is number 7, the abundance mindset. Okay. Let's talk about one of the biggest deal breakers in attraction, and that's scarcity. I can't tell you how many times and how many guys I've seen blow it because they're living in scarcity mode. You know the guy, right? And maybe you've been the guy. You match on Bumble with a woman, and suddenly you're acting like you just hit the Powerball. Then she takes 3 hours to text you back, and now you're pacing around your apartment like, oh God, what did I do wrong? She's probably with another guy right now. Like, I blew it. Like she was so perfect. Listen, I like the business, right? I like the business. I like guys hiring me. I like all of that. But I can't tell you how many guys shell out thousands of dollars to hire me to try to help them get a second chance with some girl they dated for like a week in middle school who treated them like shit and barely even knows they exist. Like, what the It's kind of creepy you're still even thinking about her, but really it tells me something else. It tells me that they're living in scarcity. They're clinging to the few perceived options they think they have. All because deep down you feel like she's your only shot. This woman that cancels on you constantly. This woman that barely knows you're alive. This woman you haven't talked to in 17 years. This woman who cheated on you with your best. Like, anytime you're pursuing a woman like that, that's scarcity. And women instantly feel it. Now here's the flip side. The man with an abundance mindset, he's not sweating every little pause or delay in how soon she texts you back. He's not begging for attention. He's not blowing up her phone because he knows with or without this woman, his life is full. He's got options. And that doesn't mean you need to be dating a dozen different women. A lot of guys think when I say abundance and options, it means you gotta be, juggling multiple women. That's not what it means. Abundance isn't about numbers. It's about energy. It's about the vibe that she feels when she realizes that you're not clinging to her like a life raft. And here's why it's so attractive. It signals that you're high status. Women know men with options don't chase. And when she senses that you have options, when she senses that you're willing to lose her, when she senses that you could walk away, when she senses that you won't tolerate bad behavior, when she senses all of that, she assumes you're high value. If you act like the prize, she believes you're the prize. If you put a higher price tag on yourself, she feels a desire to pay that price. It creates urgency. If she thinks that you could walk away at any time, she invests more to keep you. If she senses that she could do anything she wants and you're never going to lose her, well, you're going to be her backup plan, right? Abundance makes her chase. The less you act like you need her, the more she starts wondering how to lock you down. Here's the truth. A man in scarcity plays not to lose. A man in abundance plays to win. Now, I said 7 traits, but that's actually an 8th trait, right? Playing to win. So there's playing to lose and there's playing to win. When a woman senses and gets the feeling you're a guy who plays to win, not a guy playing defense, playing just not to blow your shot, that's when she feels that pull towards you. And when you live in abundance, you stop being the guy stressing out over text and you become the guy she's refreshing her phone, wondering what you're doing, who you're with. And here's the thing. It's hard to embody these other qualities like autonomy and standards and boundaries and handling tension. In fact, it's hard to have any control at all over yourself when you live in a scarcity mindset, when you think that she's the only girl who's going to like me. It's impossible to be unattached to the outcome. The more options you have, the more power and control you have over yourself. The fact is, women have a lot of options. And this scares some guys. I see it all the time. I feel it. And I feel bad for guys who think like this because it can feel really powerless to think, man, even average looking women have tons of guys chasing after them. But the truth is, men have just as many options as women, right? High quality men have more options than women. And this scares women even more than it scares men because women very often have a timetable, right? A woman has a set time in her mind she wants to meet a guy by. Maybe, she wants to be married by 30 and have kids. Like, they have this timetable that men don't have as much of. So women are very scared too. And I think a lot of guys don't realize that. Because it still surprises me when I'm working with a client and he tells me that he's not on dating apps. And I get it, right? Because I know they can be frustrating, but it's so much easier to make the right moves when you have options. And the easiest way to have options is to be talking to dozens of different women and knowing that, man, I'm getting better at this every day. I'm getting better at flirting. I'm escalating more. I'm expressing my boundaries more. I'm becoming more autonomous, right? These apps allow you to develop all these skills we're talking about. And it's so much easier to have control over yourself when you are talking to multiple women. And guys are like, listen, I hate dating apps and I get it. It seems hard. It's not working. It sucks. I get it. But just because it's not working for you at the moment doesn't mean they don't work. It just means you haven't figured it out yet, because I can tell you this, and this is especially true of my divorce clients where it finally clicks. They've got dates lined up every night of the week. I have friends that barely got any girls in their 20s and now they're in their 40s and they're coming out of a marriage and they're dating like fucking rock stars, right? There are guys in their 50s living like a 20-year-old. It's amazing. If you haven't watched the video yet, my friend Rob Judge, He's literally the master at dating apps and how to communicate and speaking this new language, right? Because it really is a new language. It's a hookup culture and it's a new language. But he's got a video and it's called endofmen.com. I'll link to it in the description. Endofmen.com. Now make sure you watch it because you have to be on dating apps nowadays. You absolutely have to be. Even if you don't want to be, you must be, because literally almost every woman you meet is going to be on these sites. You want to be on them. You want to be practicing. Even if you don't think you're going to meet a woman on them, which you will meet more women. I mean, like my clients, like I said, 30, 40s, 50s, 60s, these guys are killing it on Tinder and Bumble and all those sites. It does come down to presenting yourself the right way and all that sort of stuff. And at endofmen.com, watch that video. You got to be on it because it fosters the abundant mentality that these women have. That's my point of this, right? Women are on these sites. They have the abundance mentality, and that's why your neediness, your desire to lock her down, she's like, man, I have options. I don't have to settle. And you have to have that same mentality to attract her. Having an abundance mentality eliminates your fear of losing her. It makes you less likely to react, less likely to deviate for her. And it makes you a whole lot more comfortable with tension, with the gray area. And ultimately, that's how you have power over yourself, which in turn gives you power over women. Like I said, if you haven't watched Rob's video yet, you really need to watch it because it'll help you foster this mentality of abundance. So these are the qualities that make a woman invest in you. Running through them again very quickly. We have your ability to handle and be comfortable in tension. We have desire for her, not affection, not needing her, but desiring her. We have ambition, which means you're going places. We have autonomy, which means you're self-governing. You're independent of her approval. We have standards and boundaries, which means you're willing to not tolerate bad behavior. And then we have the abundance mindset. And these are all internal. That means you don't have to grow bigger muscles. You don't have to get a more chiseled jawline. You don't have to make $1 million or become a stand-up comedian. You have to take control of your internal traits because that's what signals to a woman how valuable you are. So as always, if you found this video helpful, hit the like button so other guys know that it's worth watching. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you want to see covered and make sure you subscribe. And again, watch Rob's video. I'm going to put a link to that in the description. And I'm also going to put a link to the Scrambler in the description if you haven't checked that out yet.